Imagine holding a coin in your hand that most people see every day but rarely notice. Now imagine that coin could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, hidden in your pocket or in a jar of change. Today, we're going to uncover the story of one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You might think it's just another penny, but for collectors, it's a coin that tells a story of history, mistakes, and unexpected value. By the end of this video, you'll see why a simple copper disc could change the way you look at everyday money. The 1968 Lincoln penny, sometimes called the small date Lincoln cent, was a coin struck during a unique moment in American coinage. Unlike the pennies you use every day, which almost always carry a mint mark indicating where they were made, the 1968 no mint mark penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark at that time. This simple detail makes it a subtle but important piece for collectors. To understand why this coin is special, we need to go back to 1968 itself. The late 1960s were a period of change for the United States, not just socially and politically, but economically as well. The country had recently ended the production of silver in dimes and quarters, switching to a more cost-effective metal composition. Pennies, meanwhile, had been made primarily of copper for decades. The Lincoln cent, which first appeared in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, had become one of the most recognizable coins in the country. In 1968, the Lincoln penny continued to serve as both a daily currency and a collectible, but certain details in production would soon make some coins much more sought after than others. The 1968 Lincoln penny was primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The obverse, or front, features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been used on the penny since 1909. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which replaced the wheat ears design in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. For most pennies, this design was common and unremarkable. However, the subtle differences in die patterns, minting errors, and the absence of a mint mark for Philadelphia coins set certain 1968 pennies apart. So why is the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny rare? Unlike coins with D or S mint marks from Denver or San Francisco, the Philadelphia Mint produced its coins without a mint mark. Most coins were circulated widely and are very common today, but some 1968 pennies from Philadelphia are highly collectible because they show unusual die varieties or errors. One example is the double die variety, where the design appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. These coins are not easy to spot with the naked eye, but they can significantly increase the value for collectors who know what to look for. Collectors also prize certain 1968 pennies for their condition. Coins that remain uncirculated or in mint state, especially those with a strong, sharp strike and bright, original luster, are far more valuable than the worn pennies found in pocket change. A simple coin that has been carefully preserved for decades can now fetch prices in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its rarity and condition. Real-life examples of auction values for the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny are impressive. While a regular circulated penny from that year might be worth just a few cents, high-grade uncirculated examples can sell for $200 to $500. Coins with specific die errors, such as the double die obverse, have been known to sell for over $1,000 at auction. These figures might seem astonishing for a coin most of us use every day without a second thought, but in the world of coin collecting, small details create enormous value. If you think you might have a valuable 1968 penny, it's important to know how to identify a real one. Start with the basics. Check the date and the mint mark. For a Philadelphia coin, there should be no mint mark. Examine the coin's surface for signs of wear, discoloration, or cleaning, as these factors can decrease value. For advanced collectors looking for die errors like doubling on the date, the word Liberty or In God We Trust can reveal rare varieties. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help detect these subtle differences. Authenticity is crucial, and coins with provenance or certificates from reputable grading companies are the safest way to ensure you have a genuine collectible. Beyond the potential financial value, the 1968 Lincoln penny carries interesting historical and fun facts. For instance, this coin was produced during the Vietnam War era, a turbulent time in American history, which adds a layer of cultural significance. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse even shows a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial itself, a detail most people never notice without close inspection. Some coins also exhibit minor production quirks, like slight misalignments or small die cracks, which are often seen as charming imperfections by collectors. Every coin tells a story not just about currency, but about the people and the era that produced it. Collectors love the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny for many reasons. Its age, historical context, and potential for rare varieties make it a must-have for serious numismatists. Unlike modern pennies, which are mass-produced with little variation, coins from the 1960s can reveal hidden surprises that spark excitement and curiosity. Finding a high-grade example or a rare error coin can feel like uncovering a secret treasure, giving collectors a thrill that goes beyond mere monetary value. There's also the satisfaction of completing a set or owning a piece of history that has survived decades in near-perfect condition. Even for casual coin enthusiasts, the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a conversation starter. It encourages people to look at everyday objects with a new perspective, to wonder about the stories behind ordinary things. How many coins in your pocket have survived wars, economic crises, and decades of use, only to remain largely unnoticed until someone like you takes a closer look? That sense of discovery is part of the magic of coin collecting. In the end, the 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is more than just a piece of copper. It's a window into the past, a tiny artifact that carries history, artistry, and the potential for unexpected value. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone who simply enjoys the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures, this coin reminds us that sometimes the most ordinary things hold extraordinary secrets. So next time you find a penny in your change, take a closer look. You never know, it might be more than just a coin. It could be a piece of history waiting to be discovered, a small treasure with a story that spans decades, and a reminder that even the simplest objects can hold incredible value. Keep an eye out, because the next 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might be sitting quietly in your wallet, ready to surprise you. Imagine holding a small coin in your hand, a simple copper penny, yet it could hide a secret worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. What if I told you that one penny from 1977, with no mint mark, could be one of those hidden treasures? Most people overlook it, yet collectors are always on the lookout for it. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that seems ordinary at first glance but carries a history and rarity that could surprise you. The 1977 Lincoln penny, officially known as the 1-cent coin, features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. For decades, this design has been a symbol of American currency and history. But what makes the 1977 issue particularly interesting is the absence of a mint mark. Mint marks are small letters stamped on coins to indicate where they were produced, typically D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. A missing mint mark, especially on certain years, can make a coin more sought after by collectors. To understand why, let's step back into the late 1970s. The United States was navigating a complex economic period. Inflation was rising, and coin production was a balancing act between supplying enough coins for daily use and maintaining quality. In 1977, pennies were still primarily made from copper, although the composition had begun to shift slightly toward a copper-plated zinc core. The Lincoln penny itself had been in circulation since 1909, and its design was one of the most recognized in American coinage. The 1977 penny's obverse features the timeless profile of Abraham Lincoln, crafted with sharp detail in his hair, beard, and suit. The date, 1977, appears to the right of his portrait. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial design remains prominent, a tribute to the national monument that honors the 16th president. What makes the 1977 no-mint mark penny unusual is subtle but significant. Most pennies from that year carry a D or S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint, however, produced pennies without a mint mark. While not technically an error, coins from this mint can be more desirable because fewer collectors paid attention to the minting source at the time. Beyond its production background, some 1977 pennies have developed unique characteristics that collectors prize. Variations in striking, slight doubling of the date, or tiny planchet flaws can elevate a coin's value. While not every 1977 no-mint mark penny will carry these features, discovering one with a distinct imperfection can make it especially valuable. Collectors refer to these subtle differences as varieties, and even a small anomaly can transform a common penny into a noteworthy addition to a collection. So, why is this penny considered rare? The answer lies in its survival rate and condition. Millions of pennies were minted in 1977, but the majority were circulated and worn over time. Those that remain in uncirculated condition, with sharp details and no scratches or wear, are much harder to find. A penny in near-perfect condition can command a premium at auctions or among dedicated coin collectors. Rarity isn't just about numbers minted. It's about how many coins have survived the wear and tear of daily life. Real-world examples illustrate the penny's potential value. While a typical 1977 no-mint mark penny in average condition might only be worth a few cents above face value, uncirculated examples can fetch much higher prices. Collectors have reported paying anywhere from $50 to several $100s for coins in exceptional condition. In rare cases, pennies with distinctive die errors or perfect grading have sold for even more, making them a worthwhile coin to examine carefully if you're searching through old collections. Auction houses and coin grading services often highlight these coins, showing that a simple Lincoln penny can still capture the imagination and wallets of collectors today. Identifying a genuine 1977 no-mint mark penny is straightforward, but requires careful attention. First, examine the date and the mint mark area closely. A true Philadelphia penny will have no letter at all near the date, unlike its Denver or San Francisco counterparts. Look at the coin's surface. The copper should have a warm, reddish-brown tone if well preserved, and the edges should show consistent, circular milling. Be wary of counterfeit coins, which may be altered by removing mint marks or artificially aging a coin to look rare. Consulting a reputable coin dealer or using professional grading services is the safest way to confirm authenticity, especially if you believe you've discovered a particularly valuable specimen. The 1977 penny also has some fun, surprising details that make it more than just a small piece of metal. Many people don't realize that Lincoln pennies were the first U.S. coins to feature a president's portrait on the obverse, setting a standard that continues today. The 1977 penny represents a moment in history when the nation was transitioning in both economics and minting technology. For those who enjoy small historical connections, holding a coin from that year is like holding a tiny piece of 1970s America in your hand, a period filled with cultural change and economic challenges. Collectors love the 1977 no-mint mark penny, not just for its potential monetary value, but for the story it tells. It's a coin that bridges generations, one that grandparents may have handed down to grandchildren, unknowingly passing along a collectible that could one day be worth much more. The hunt for these coins combines patience, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck. Every shiny penny you find in circulation could hide a secret, and the 1977 no-mint mark penny is a perfect example of this thrill. In today's collector market, the appeal of this penny continues to grow. Coin enthusiasts enjoy comparing notes on condition, identifying subtle variations, and sometimes even trading or auctioning coins for significant sums. It's not just about money. It's about preserving history, appreciating craftsmanship, and feeling connected to a story that spans decades. The 1977 no-mint mark penny serves as a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry extraordinary significance, waiting for the right eyes to notice. So the next time you sift through a jar of pennies or find a small coin on the sidewalk, take a moment to inspect it closely. Could it be an overlooked gem like the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Its story of rarity, subtle detail, and historical significance makes it more than just a penny. For those who cherish history, treasure hunting, and the thrill of discovery, this humble coin holds a quiet promise that even in the everyday, something remarkable can be waiting to be found. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a tiny, often ignored object can hold secrets worth exploring. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious, keeping an eye out for coins like this one can be both rewarding and exciting. After all, in the world of coins, the ordinary can quickly become extraordinary, and the next penny you pick up might just be the one that changes everything. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that millions of Americans pass by every day without a second thought. Now, imagine that same coin could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and history. Today, we're diving into a coin that seems ordinary, but holds a story that surprises collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The 1985 D-Mint mark Lincoln penny. If you think all pennies are the same, think again. This little piece of copper might just change the way you look at your spare change. The 1985 D Lincoln penny is part of the long-running series of 1-cent coins featuring the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The D mark on the coin tells us it was minted in Denver, one of the U.S. Mint's most famous facilities. At first glance, it might look just like the pennies you've been dropping in jars or counting at cash registers, but the story behind this coin is more than just face value. Its journey from metal to mint to collector's shelf reveals the subtle details that can make ordinary pennies extraordinary. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, introduced to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1985, these coins had been in circulation for over 75 years. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies during the 1980s, but each year still carries its own unique characteristics, and 1985 is no exception. That year, the Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies, but the Denver Mint, indicated by the D on the coin, had its own minor quirks in production that collectors pay attention to today. The design of the 1985 D Lincoln penny follows the classic pattern that has been largely consistent since the 1959 redesign, which marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the obverse, or front, you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, looking calm and dignified. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that remained standard until 2008. But what makes the 1985 D penny special isn't just the design, it's the details that might not be visible at first glance. The coin is made primarily of copper, with a small amount of zinc. Specifically, pennies minted before 1982 were mostly copper, while after that, the mint shifted to a copper-plated zinc composition. The 1985 D falls into this newer category, which means it has a thin copper layer over a zinc core. This detail is crucial because it affects weight, color, and even the coin's ability to survive decades in circulation without significant wear. Collectors often look for errors, and the 1985 D Lincoln penny is no stranger to them. While not all pennies from this year are rare, a few specific mistakes can make a coin extremely valuable. Die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes can dramatically increase a penny's worth. Even the smallest imperfection, like a slight doubling of Lincoln's shoulder or a minor strike misalignment on the memorial, is enough to catch the eye of experienced collectors. These errors are like fingerprints, making each coin unique. So why is this penny rare or valuable? On the surface, millions were minted, which would suggest scarcity isn't an issue. But the truth is, very few have survived in near-perfect condition. Pennies are made to be used, and most spend decades in pockets, wallets, or jars, wearing down their details. A 1985 D penny in uncirculated condition, with crisp details and no scratches, is far less common than the circulation-struck coins. For collectors, the condition is everything. A coin in pristine condition might be worth dozens, even hundreds of dollars, depending on the error or rarity. To give you a clearer picture, let's look at some real-world examples. On auction sites and in numismatic circles, a standard circulated 1985 D penny might only fetch a few cents above face value. But uncirculated coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can sell for $20 to $50. Coins with notable errors or exceptional luster have been known to reach prices upwards of $200 or more. It's this potential for significant appreciation that makes even a coin that seems ordinary so intriguing. Identifying a real 1985 D penny is straightforward if you know what to look for. The D mint mark is located just below the date on the obverse side. Examine the coin's color and weight. Real pennies minted after 1982 will have a slightly lighter feel than older, solid copper coins. Look for the details in Lincoln's profile: his jawline, the folds of his coat, and the fine lines in the memorial on the back. Errors are usually subtle, so magnification can help reveal double dies or tiny misalignments. Counterfeit coins are rare for this year, but always check the quality and consult grading references if you suspect something unusual. There are a few fun facts about the 1985 D Lincoln penny that make it even more interesting. For one, this penny circulated during a time of significant change in the United States. Ronald Reagan was in his second term, the music industry was booming, and personal computers were just starting to appear in homes. This coin has been in pockets during decades of cultural shifts, economic highs and lows, and everyday life moments. It's a tiny piece of history that connects us to the past in a tangible way. Another surprising detail is how this penny relates to the broader world of coin collecting. While some collectors chase coins from the 1800s or rare minting errors from the early 1900s, the 1985 D demonstrates that even coins from the relatively recent past can carry significant value. It's a reminder that history isn't just ancient. It's happening all around us, in our everyday change jars and wallets. Collectors love this coin today not just for its potential monetary value, but for its historical connection and the thrill of discovery. The 1985 D Lincoln penny represents a moment in time, a snapshot of American life, and a tangible link to a currency system that has evolved over more than a century. Each coin tells a story, whether it remained in circulation or found its way into a collector's album. For many, the excitement lies in searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to uncover that one gem that sparks curiosity, conversation, and sometimes a surprising payday. And here's the part that keeps people coming back to coin collecting. Every penny, no matter how common it seems, has a story waiting to be uncovered. Could the next 1985 D penny you find be the one with a rare error, the one in perfect condition that collectors dream about? Could it hold a secret value far beyond its humble 1 cent face? The answer is always a tantalizing maybe, and that's what makes the hunt so captivating. So the next time you reach into your pocket or tip jar and pull out a 1985 D Lincoln penny, take a moment to look closely. Notice the mint mark, study Lincoln's profile, and imagine the decades this coin has witnessed. What seems like a simple penny could be a small treasure, a bridge to the past, and a spark of curiosity that transforms how you see the coins you handle every day. One day, it might just be the coin that changes your collection, or even your perspective, forever. The story of the 1985 D Lincoln penny is a story of ordinary objects hiding extraordinary potential. It's a lesson in paying attention, in curiosity, and in valuing the small details. And perhaps most importantly, it's a reminder that history can be found in the tiniest, most overlooked places, sometimes right at the bottom of your pocket. Keep looking, keep collecting, and keep wondering. Who knows what treasure might be hiding in your next handful of change? This coin may appear simple, but its journey is anything but. Every scratch, every shine, every tiny detail tells a story of craftsmanship, circulation, and the passage of time. In the world of coins, even the smallest discoveries can lead to the biggest surprises. The 1985 D Lincoln penny isn't just currency. It's history, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt, all rolled into a single, unassuming coin. And if you thought pennies were just pennies, the 1985 D Lincoln penny proves otherwise. Its ordinary appearance masks extraordinary possibilities, reminding us that sometimes the most valuable treasures come in the smallest packages. Keep your eyes open, because the next penny you find might just hold a secret waiting to be discovered. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that most people pass by without a second glance, yet it could be worth far more than its face value. Today, we're diving into a coin that fits this exact description, the 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a regular penny, but collectors know there's more to it than meets the eye. This is a story about history, rarity, and the small copper disc that has captured the fascination of coin enthusiasts across the country. The 1994 Lincoln penny, officially known as the 1 cent coin, is part of the long-running series of coins featuring Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Since its introduction in 1909, the Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American history, appearing in countless wallets and cash registers. The coin you might find from 1994 seems ordinary at first, but the details make all the difference. The history of the 1994 penny begins in a time of change for the United States Mint. The coin was produced during a period when Lincoln pennies had already been made for more than 80 years. By 1994, the design on the front, or obverse, still featured the classic profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design first created by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces right, his expression calm yet determined, a symbol of leadership and unity. The reverse side, known as the Lincoln Memorial design, shows the memorial in Washington, D.C., a design that had been in place since 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Most 1994 pennies carry a mint mark to indicate where they were made. The D for Denver or the S for San Francisco are common, but some coins bear no mint mark at all, meaning they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While this might sound ordinary, the lack of a mint mark has made certain 1994 pennies unexpectedly interesting to collectors. When it comes to materials, The 1994 Lincoln penny is primarily made of copper-plated zinc, a formula that had been in use since 1982. The outer layer is a thin copper coating, while the core is mostly zinc. This gives the coin its familiar reddish-brown color. Unlike older pennies made entirely of copper, these coins are lighter and can be slightly more delicate if damaged. Collectors pay attention to unique features, and the 1994 no mint mark penny has a few of note. For one, some coins from this year show striking errors. These can include doubled dies, where the letters or numbers appear to have a shadow or a slight doubling effect. Other errors include off-center strikes or weak impressions, which make each coin visually distinct and potentially more valuable. Even the smallest variations can turn an ordinary penny into a prized collector's item. So why is this coin rare or valuable? For most people, a 1994 penny is just a cent. But coin collectors know that certain batches from the Philadelphia Mint were limited or had errors, making them scarce in the eyes of collectors. Supply and demand play a big role here. A coin that looks ordinary but has subtle differences from the standard production run can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars if it's in excellent condition and certified by a grading service. Real-world auction examples show how surprising these coins can be. A 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny in uncirculated condition recently sold for several $100s, a dramatic increase from its 1 cent face value. Coins with noticeable errors or unusual characteristics have been known to fetch even higher prices. Collectors prize them not just for monetary gain, but for the story behind each coin, a tiny piece of history that has survived decades. Identifying a real 1994 no mint mark penny is easier than you might think if you know what to look for. Start by examining the coin's obverse side for the classic Lincoln portrait, making sure there is no mint mark below the date. The reverse should feature the Lincoln memorial clearly. Watch for unusual doubling, misaligned strikes, or inconsistent coloring, as these may indicate a rare error. It's important to handle the coin carefully to avoid scratches that could reduce its value. Certified grading from reputable services can confirm authenticity and condition, giving buyers confidence in what they are purchasing. There are some fun and surprising facts about the 1994 no mint mark penny. For example, although it may seem modern compared to coins from the early 1900s, these pennies have been quietly circulating for over 30 years. Many of them were used for everyday purchases, tucked into jars or drawers, only to be rediscovered decades later. Some collectors even find that a coin with minor imperfections can be more desirable than a perfect one, because the imperfections tell a story about its journey through circulation. Collectors love the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny for several reasons. It represents a modern piece of history, bridging the gap between old and contemporary coin collecting. Its scarcity, especially when errors are present, makes it an intriguing addition to any collection. Beyond the potential financial value, there is a sense of discovery and excitement in holding a coin that many people overlook, realizing that something so small can carry both historical significance and monetary worth. As we look at this coin today, it reminds us that even the most familiar objects can hold secrets. A simple penny passed from hand to hand can tell a story of a nation, of a minting process, and of collectors' passion. The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a testament to the idea that treasure can be found in the most ordinary places. Next time you dig through your pocket change or your old coin jars, take a moment to look closely. You might just find a coin that is more than it seems, a small copper disc with a history and a value that could surprise you. In the end, the story of the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny is about more than money. It's about curiosity, discovery, and the thrill of uncovering something rare in a world where so much goes unnoticed. Who knows what other secrets are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice them? One small coin could change how you see the pennies you've been carrying all your life. The question is, are you ready to look a little closer? Imagine holding a coin in your hand that most people walk past every day, never noticing its hidden story. Now, imagine that same coin could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing modern pennies in American history, the 2000 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny, but for collectors, it holds secrets that can make it a treasure. The coin we're talking about is part of the long-running series of Lincoln cents, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By the year 2000, the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for over 90 years, but this particular issue stands out because of its unusual production details and the stories hidden in its metal and design. Unlike most pennies produced in the United States, this coin doesn't have a mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While that might sound ordinary, in the year 2000, Philadelphia was producing billions of pennies, and yet some of these coins emerged with qualities that make them highly sought after today. To understand why the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny matters, we need to take a quick look at its history. The year 2000 was a transitional time for the Lincoln cent. The U.S. Mint was still using the familiar copper-plated zinc composition that had been introduced in 1982. This means the penny is made mostly of zinc, with a thin layer of copper on the surface. It measures just 19 millimeters in diameter and weighs 2.5 grams, the standard for modern pennies. On the obverse, or front, we see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner over 90 years earlier. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in place since 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. On paper, it seems like just another penny, yet small variations in the minting process make certain examples remarkable. One of the most fascinating features of the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny is its potential for errors. Coins produced in large quantities often develop mistakes that collectors call varieties. These can include doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even missing elements of the design. For this particular penny, the most notable varieties include slight doubling of the date, known as a doubled die, and unusual surface textures caused by die deterioration. While the majority of these coins are ordinary, spotting one of these errors can transform a common cent into a collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Even subtle differences in the color of the copper plating or the sharpness of the design lines can make a coin more desirable to collectors. But why is the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny rare or valuable? Part of the answer lies in the fact that most pennies from this year are ordinary circulation coins, easily found in pocket change or rolls. However, coins that show unusual characteristics, errors, or exceptional preservation are scarce. Collectors prize coins in mint state, meaning they show no signs of wear and retain their original luster. A 2000 no mint mark penny in mint state with a clear double die or other error can sell for significantly more than a typical coin, simply because it is difficult to find in that condition. Scarcity drives interest, and in the world of coin collecting, even minor details can create big excitement. To give a real-world sense of value, consider some recent examples. A standard 2000 no mint mark penny in average circulated condition is worth only its face value, 1 cent. But in uncirculated condition, graded as M-65 or higher by professional grading services, prices can climb to $20 or more. Coins with clear double die errors or other notable varieties have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars at auctions. One particularly sharp example, graded M-66 with a distinct double die on the date, recently sold for nearly $500. These prices might seem extraordinary for a coin most people overlook, yet they reflect the passion collectors have for rarity, condition, and the thrill of discovering something extraordinary in ordinary change. Identifying a genuine 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny requires careful attention. First, check the date and the absence of a mint mark. Look closely for any unusual doubling, especially on the numerals of the date, or irregularities in Lincoln's profile and the memorial design. Examine the color and texture of the coin. Genuine pennies from 2000 will have a thin copper layer over zinc, and any inconsistencies can indicate either a unique variety or, in some cases, a counterfeit attempt. Comparing your coin to high-resolution images from reputable grading services or collector guides can help confirm authenticity. While fakes exist, careful observation and consulting experts make it possible to distinguish a true collectible from a common coin. There are also some fun and surprising facts about this penny. For example, 2000 marked the start of a new millennium, and for some collectors, coins from this year carry symbolic value as a bridge between centuries. Unlike older coins, which might be valued for age or historical context, the 2000 Lincoln penny is prized for its hidden quirks in a modern production. Some coins from this year exhibit faint die cracks or unique strike patterns that appear almost like fingerprints of the minting process. These small imperfections tell a story about how coins were made, the machines used, and even the human oversight involved in producing billions of coins. For collectors, every imperfection becomes a piece of history captured in metal. Collectors love the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny today because it represents a blend of familiarity and surprise. Everyone recognizes a Lincoln penny, but only a few hold the potential for significant value. The coin connects people to the larger history of American currency while offering a chance for discovery. It's also an entry point for new collectors who want to learn how to spot valuable coins without needing decades of experience. Holding one of these pennies, especially with a notable variety, is a tangible connection to the minting process, to Abraham Lincoln's legacy, and to the excitement of uncovering something rare in everyday life. As we wrap up, consider this. The next time you reach into your pocket or wallet for a coin, it could be more than just spare change. Among the thousands of pennies produced in a single year, a hidden gem may be waiting. A 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny that carries the quiet promise of discovery, value, and a story that spans over 90 years of American history. Coins like this remind us that even in the most ordinary objects, there are extraordinary tales to uncover, waiting for someone curious enough to look closely. So the question becomes, could the next coin you find be one of these rare treasures? Could it hold a doubled die, a minting anomaly, or just the perfect preservation that makes collectors stop and pay attention? Every coin has a story, but the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny invites you to imagine what could be hiding in your change, ready to turn a simple piece of metal into a piece of history. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that seems ordinary at first glance, just a small copper disc you might find in your pocket. But what if I told you that this coin, minted over a decade ago, could be hiding a secret that makes it highly sought after by collectors across the country? Today, we're diving into the story of the 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has quietly captured the attention of the numismatic world and may just surprise you with its rarity and value. The 2008 Lincoln penny is part of a long line of 1-cent coins that have been a staple of American currency for over a century. Featuring the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, this coin might seem unremarkable to the casual eye. But for collectors, small details can mean the difference between an everyday penny and a highly collectible treasure. The 2008 version is particularly interesting because of its subtle variations and the circumstances under which it was produced. To understand why this penny is noteworthy, it helps to know a little about its history. The Lincoln cent has been in continuous production since 1909, celebrating Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 2008, the Lincoln penny had undergone numerous design updates, including changes to the reverse side and the metals used in its production. In 2008, the United States Mint was producing pennies primarily from a zinc core with a thin copper plating. This year also marked the final years of a specific reverse design that had been in place for a few years, which makes the coin historically interesting. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 2008 penny is its design. The obverse, or front, features the same iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln that has appeared on the coin for decades. The reverse design for 2008 was part of the series honoring Lincoln's life, highlighting the different stages of his career. These design choices were carefully planned to honor one of America's most revered presidents, but they also created opportunities for subtle variations during production, which collectors now hunt for. While the coin itself might appear normal to most people, the 2008 no mint mark penny has unique features that set it apart. First, the absence of a mint mark is significant. In 2008, pennies were produced in Philadelphia, and coins minted there often do not carry a mint mark. Collectors pay close attention to this detail because it can affect the coin's rarity. Additionally, because the 2008 penny was produced with a zinc core, some coins exhibit slight discoloration or edge separation over time, which can indicate errors or unusual minting conditions. These minor quirks can make the coin far more desirable to collectors than a standard issue. But what really makes the 2008 no mint mark penny stand out is its scarcity in high-grade condition. Millions of these pennies were minted, but very few have survived without wear or damage. Coins that appear near mint or uncirculated are rare, and this rarity drives collector interest. It's not just the age of the coin that matters, but the quality and condition, which can transform an everyday penny into a coin worth hundreds of dollars in the right market. Auction results over the past few years demonstrate just how sought after these coins have become. While most 2008 pennies in circulated condition are still worth face value, uncirculated specimens with exceptional luster and sharp details have been known to sell for $50 to $200 at auction. Coins graded by professional services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS, often fetch even higher prices, especially when they are free from scratches or discoloration. A perfect or near-perfect 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny can easily catch the attention of collectors looking to complete a high-quality set, making it a smart find for anyone who happens to stumble upon one in a roll of change. Identifying a genuine 2008 no mint mark penny is not complicated, but it requires careful observation. Authentic coins will have a clear, sharp profile of Abraham Lincoln, a smooth rim, and consistent coloring across the copper surface. Any unusual markings, misshapen edges, or inconsistent thickness can be signs of a counterfeit or a coin that has been altered. Collectors often use magnification and proper lighting to examine the details of the design, ensuring that they are not paying for a coin that is anything less than authentic. Knowledgeable collectors also look for subtle indicators like die cracks or minor variations in lettering, which can further increase the coin's value. Beyond its financial and collectible appeal, the 2008 penny carries some surprising details that make it fun to explore. For example, because it was minted during a period of economic change, some coins from this year show unique toning patterns due to storage in unusual environments. Others reveal very faint die errors, tiny marks that were unnoticed during production, but now offer a window into the minting process. These little quirks make each coin slightly different from the next, adding a personal story to every piece in a collection. Collectors are drawn to the 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny not just because of its rarity, but because it represents a snapshot of history. Owning one is like holding a small piece of 2008, a year filled with cultural and economic shifts in the United States. The coin is modest in size, yet it carries with it a connection to the past, a reminder of the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the intricate work of the United States Mint. Collectors often seek it out as part of a larger set, aiming to preserve coins that are both historically significant and visually appealing. In the end, the 2008 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a testament to how something seemingly ordinary can hold extraordinary value. It shows that even coins minted just over a decade ago can capture the imagination of collectors, not because of dramatic design changes or rare metals, but because of their condition, subtle variations, and connection to history. For anyone who comes across this coin, it's worth a closer look, a careful examination, and maybe even a place in a collection that honors the rich story of American currency. So next time you reach into your pocket or sort through a jar of pennies, take a moment to examine the coins from 2008. That unassuming piece of copper could be hiding more than just the face of a president. It could be a key to a fascinating story, a rare collectible, and a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry remarkable secrets. The 2008 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may not shout for attention, but for those who know where to look, it quietly offers a world of curiosity, history, and potential value waiting to be discovered. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that millions of Americans pass by every day, barely noticing. Yet this tiny piece of copper could be hiding a story, a secret, and a value far beyond its face. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating world of the 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has sparked curiosity and excitement among collectors across the United States. You might think, a penny from 2014. How could it be rare? Stay with me, because the story behind this ordinary-looking coin is anything but ordinary. The 2014 Lincoln penny, officially part of the Lincoln Cent series, carries on a legacy that began over a century ago. The design features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, facing right, a profile that has become iconic in American coinage. The reverse shows the Union Shield, a symbol of unity, introduced just a few years earlier in 2010, replacing the beloved Lincoln Memorial design. At first glance, it might look like any other penny in your pocket, but the 2014 no-mint mark version carries unique characteristics that have collectors intrigued. To understand why this coin matters, let's look at its history. In 2014, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies for circulation. Most of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the absence of a mint mark. Meanwhile, coins from Denver carried a small D mark. Philadelphia, being the nation's first mint and the original source of all Lincoln cents, holds a special place in numismatic history. The 2014 Philadelphia pennies were part of the continuing effort to provide change for everyday transactions, while also commemorating the enduring legacy of Lincoln. What makes this coin interesting is not just its origin, but also its composition and design. Unlike older pennies, which were primarily made of copper, the 2014 Lincoln penny is composed mostly of zinc, with a thin copper plating. This change in metal composition began in 1982, but by 2014, it had become standard. The coin weighs just 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Its design is precise, featuring clean lines on Lincoln's profile and the detailed shield on the back, which symbolizes the nation's unity and strength. While there are no major errors associated with this coin like double dies or off-center strikes that often make older coins extremely valuable, subtle variations in minting, slight planchet imperfections, or unusual coloration can sometimes catch the eye of collectors. So why are collectors interested in the 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny at all? The answer lies in scarcity and condition. While billions were made, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition can be surprisingly difficult. Coins that show no signs of wear, with full luster and perfectly sharp details, are highly sought after. Even small imperfections, such as scratches, spots, or discoloration, can reduce a coin's appeal to collectors. What makes this coin especially interesting is that, Because it comes from the Philadelphia Mint and has no mint mark, it represents a pure continuation of the Lincoln cent tradition, a piece of history that connects directly to the very first coins issued in 1909. Real examples of the 2014 no mint mark penny achieving collector attention have appeared in auctions and online marketplaces. While most pennies of this year are worth only their face value, coins that are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS65 or higher, meaning nearly perfect condition, can sell for significantly more. Some have fetched between $50 to a few $100s, depending on their grade and eye appeal. It might seem modest compared to the multi-million-dollar rarities, but for a coin barely a decade old, this is remarkable. Collectors are not just buying a penny, they are buying a chance to preserve a perfectly minted example of modern history. Identifying a genuine 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny is simpler than it sounds, but attention to detail matters. First, check the absence of a mint mark on the obverse, just below the date. This confirms it came from Philadelphia. Next, examine the weight and color. Real coins have a distinct coppery tone over a zinc core, and they feel slightly lighter than older all-copper pennies. Look closely at Lincoln's profile and the shield. Authentic coins have sharp, defined lines, while fakes or altered coins may appear blurry or uneven. For collectors, even the tiniest details like the edge of the shield or the clarity of Lincoln's coat can confirm authenticity. Beyond its collector value, the 2014 Lincoln penny carries some surprising details. For instance, this coin was produced during a time when pennies were increasingly criticized for their declining purchasing power. Some thought the coin might be phased out entirely, yet it persisted, connecting generations who had grown up with the familiar cent in their wallets. Another interesting fact is that, unlike older pennies that often carry a patina or wear from decades of circulation, a 2014 penny in uncirculated condition still gleams with nearly the same brightness it had on the day it left the mint. This makes it an appealing subject for numismatists and casual collectors alike. Collectors today love the 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny, not just for its potential value, but for its connection to the broader story of American coinage. It represents continuity, a bridge between the historical past and the modern era. For some, owning one in perfect condition is a way to preserve a moment in time, a small artifact of American history that might one day become even more significant. Numismatics is not just about the coins themselves, but the stories they carry, and this penny carries a subtle but meaningful narrative about the nation, its economy, and its symbols. And here's a final curiosity that keeps collectors looking. Because the penny is still relatively new, there's always the chance that an unusual error or anomaly might surface. Coins occasionally leave the mint with tiny imperfections, double strikes, missing details, or unusual coloring. A single coin like this, found decades from now in a forgotten drawer or old collection, could surprise even the most seasoned numismatist. That potential for discovery is part of what makes the 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny endlessly fascinating. So next time you pick up a penny, take a closer look. Even the coins we pass by every day can have hidden stories, subtle rarities, and connections to history that go unnoticed. The 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example, ordinary at first glance, but extraordinary when examined through the eyes of a collector. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or simply someone who enjoys the small treasures of everyday life, this coin reminds us that value is not always in the obvious, and sometimes history hides in plain sight. Keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, and who knows, maybe the next coin you handle will be the one that tells a story no one expected. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks ordinary at first glance, just another penny from your pocket. But hidden in its metal, in its design, and in a tiny detail you might not even notice, could be a story worth thousands of dollars. This is exactly the case with the 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first, it might seem like just another modern penny, but for collectors, it's a mysterious piece that has quietly captured attention across the country. Today, we're going to dive deep into what makes this seemingly simple coin so special, and why it has some collectors checking their change more carefully than ever before. The 2016 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, a line of coins that began all the way back in 1909 to honor one of America's most revered presidents, Abraham Lincoln. By 2016, the design of the penny had been updated and refined many times. The front of the coin, or obverse, still proudly features Lincoln's profile, a design created by Victor David Brenner over a century ago. On the reverse, you'll find the Union Shield, a symbol of the United States unity, which was introduced in 2010. It's a small coin, measuring just 19 millimeters across, made primarily of copper-plated zinc, and often overlooked in everyday transactions. So why is the 2016 penny with no mint mark so intriguing? To understand, we have to look at a bit of the coin's history. In the United States, pennies are typically produced at one of two major mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins minted in Denver carry a small D mark, while those from Philadelphia are usually left without any mark. In 2016, nearly all pennies from Philadelphia followed the same pattern, but a very small number were produced with anomalies, including subtle differences in metal composition and production errors. These variations are extremely rare, and that rarity is part of what makes the 2016 no mint mark penny so valuable to collectors. The design of the 2016 Lincoln penny is straightforward, but it's in the details that collectors find excitement. The obverse shows Lincoln facing right, the word Liberty to his left, and the date 2016 on his right. Above his head, it reads, "In God we trust." On the reverse, the Union Shield stretches across the coin with 1 cent in the center and United States of America above. While these designs are familiar, a small number of coins show production quirks. Some pennies from this year were struck slightly off-center, while others exhibit tiny doubling in the lettering or numerals. These errors may be minute to the naked eye, but in the numismatic world, even a small imperfection can drastically increase a coin's value. Now, you might be wondering, how rare is this penny, really? The 2016 no mint mark penny is considered unusual because it appears in extremely low numbers in perfect condition. Most pennies are collected casually, handled frequently, and show signs of wear. A coin that has been preserved straight from the mint, without any scratches or discoloration, becomes a prized find. Add to that the occasional discovery of a subtle minting error, and you have a coin that can attract serious attention at auctions. Collectors and auction houses have reported remarkable interest in this coin. While the average 2016 penny might be worth just its face value, rare versions with no mint mark and certain anomalies have sold for hundreds of dollars, and in exceptional cases, even more. One collector, for instance, purchased a near-perfect no mint mark penny from 2016 for over $400 after it showed slight doubling in the date, a feature that is extremely uncommon for such a modern coin. Another auction listed a similar penny with unusual toning that made the copper shine in a way that appealed to collectors, eventually selling for nearly $600. These prices might seem surprising for a coin less than a decade old, but rarity, condition, and unique features are what drive the value, even in modern coins. Identifying a real 2016 no mint mark penny is not difficult, but it requires careful attention. First, look at the date. The number 2016 should be crisp and evenly struck. Check for the absence of any mint mark near the date. The penny should have a smooth, copper-plated zinc surface with a slight sheen. Watch out for counterfeit coins that attempt to mimic rare varieties. These are often heavier or lighter than normal, or the letters and numbers may appear irregular. Magnification can help spot small minting errors, doubling, or subtle off-center strikes, which are features that make these pennies particularly collectible. Beyond their value, there are some fun and surprising details about the 2016 Lincoln penny. For example, the Union shield on the reverse has 13 vertical stripes, representing the original 13 colonies, while a horizontal bar across the top symbolizes the federal government uniting them. This symbolism connects the coin to more than a century of American history, even though it's modern. Some 2016 pennies also show faint streaks or spots from the minting process, which are called dye-polish lines, and collectors often find them fascinating because no two coins are exactly alike. Collectors love the 2016 no mint mark penny today for several reasons. It's a modern coin, yet it offers the thrill of rarity typically associated with much older coins. It's easy to find in circulation, yet finding one in near-perfect condition is a challenge. It's a small reminder that even everyday objects can hold unexpected value, waiting for someone curious enough to look closely. For coin enthusiasts, owning a 2016 no mint mark penny is a way to connect with the history of American coinage, and the satisfaction of spotting a hidden gem in a stack of ordinary coins is unparalleled. In the end, the 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is more than just spare change. It's a story of careful minting, subtle anomalies, and the quiet excitement of discovery. Every small detail, from the letters on the coin to the shine of its copper surface, tells a part of its journey. And who knows? The next time you reach into your pocket or check your change, the very coin you hold might be a hidden treasure, waiting to reveal its story. So the next time you see a penny from 2016, take a closer look. There might be more to it than meets the eye, and for the right collector, that small coin could open the door to a much bigger story. The story of this penny reminds us that history isn't only in museums or books. It can be found in the palm of your hand, in the coins you touch every day. And for those willing to look closely, even a modern penny can spark curiosity, excitement, and the thrill of discovery that has defined collectors for generations. Keep an eye on your change. The next 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be closer than you think.